Trying to climb but feel like you're playing agents with low impact? Easy solution. Just play the busted agents. What's going on, ProGuides fam? I'm Tia, and today I'm saving your ranked grind. These are the 3 most unbalanced agents in Valorant and why you need to learn them as soon as possible. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Queen of Ranked. This is the agent you lock in when you're most confident in your dueling potential, as she has the biggest ability to snowball kills into more kills. The biggest thing to keep in mind with Reyna is her dismiss and devour mechanic. Great Reynas know the limits of these 2 abilities very well, which will maximize your survivability and in turn allow you to keep the frags pumping as the round progresses. The rule of thumb that you should follow when learning how to master Reyna is by taking the dismiss soul every time you secure the kill. Doing it as fast as possible will minimize the risk of a follow-up peek from a nearby enemy who is trying to secure a trade kill. Once you're comfortable with the default way of approaching Reyna, you can start adding in her Devour Soul when you're confident that you're safe. The reason why I'm telling you guys this is that the biggest difference maker that can progress your Reyna to that high level is by recognizing when it's safe to devour and when you should dismiss. Let's say you do take damage and you don't think there are other enemies nearby, then it's the perfect time to use Devour. One little neat trick you can do when you kill more than one enemy is to consume a Devour first into a Dismiss, which will allow you to heal freely while being invulnerable in your Dismiss state. With that said, if you're not sure, always grab the Dismiss as it gives you much more options and usually guarantees your survivability. Just make sure you're hitting that E button as soon as you secure your kill. With Reyna core fundamentals out the way, I want to talk about her Leer. Reyna's Leer is one of the most unique CC abilities in the game. Unlike Phoenix or Breach's Flash, her Leer can't be dodged if you're not near cover. On top of that, Leer is a lingering CC ability, so anyone thinking about re-peeking it while it's up will still be blinded. Reyna's Leer must be destroyed or completely waited out. This allows your team to more confidently take space and potentially secure a bomb plant. For example, creeping up silently if the enemy doesn't kill your Leer can put you into positions the enemy doesn't expect. Couple that with a pick on your end and you can dismiss into enemy lines. In Ranked, a well-placed Leer will spell disaster, especially against uncoordinated teams or players. As you climb the ranks, you will have to get more creative with her Leer, but it's especially good at finding those 1v1 or 1v2 duels. Again, because it must be shot, it gives you ample time to win your fights, especially if there aren't multiple enemies that you're peeking in. Even in that case, if you secure a kill quick enough, a Dismiss Soul will quickly put you out of harm's way. Beware though, Reyna's Leer doesn't immediately blind enemies the second it's on the field. There is a slight delay, which is especially important to note when trying to peek an operator after your Leer. Lastly, your placement of your Leer is extremely important. Besides trying to position it in a way that can blind as many angles as possible, make sure you're either throwing her Leer high up in the sky or down low. To this day, I still see too many Reynas throwing their Leer at a comfortable level, which makes it much easier for the enemy to kill and then transfer their aim to you. Don't let them have their fun. If you can make them aim at the sky or at the ground before they have to deal with you, your fights will become a walk in the park. Hey guys, I know how annoying it can be playing a duelist like Reyna and be losing trades in those important entry fragging moments. So if you want to improve, head on over to ProGuides.com where we have awesome coaches that will love to help you become a better player. Before we get on with the rest of the video, we have our question of the day. How do you guys feel about the new changes to Split? Personally, I love the changes as it makes the engagements feel more natural. Widening up the space in various parts of the map have made it feel less restrictive and random when fighting other players. I also think it helps to make the map more attacker-sided than before, which is great due to Split being notoriously defender-favored. I hope to see changes like this happen to Icebox in the near future, as these changes are definitely healthy for the state of the game. Overall, one of my favorite map changes so far in Valorant and would love to see more like this. What do you guys think though? Do you guys prefer these changes to Split, or did you like the old Split? Jett is without a doubt the highest skill stealing agent in Valorant because of the creative freedom and depth that can be afforded to her. She is one of the only agents with access to high mobility abilities, and coupled with smokes, it allows her to have a very dynamic playstyle. Jett has the ability to play passive, aggressive, and everything in between. On top of that, all of her abilities have very low input delay, allowing you to quickly make plays without as much hesitation or direct help from your teammates. On the contrary, agents like Breach have amazing utility kits, but because he has so much delay on all his utilities, it makes it difficult to play him in a non-team environment. Without a doubt, Jett is the most popular agent among many of the players in the top 500 or Radiant, and for many good reasons. I want to talk about the key aspects that separate the mediocre Jetts from some of the best ones. Starting with her dash, a free ability that resets after 2 kills. The key to getting the most value out of her dash is by not getting greedy, especially if you've already secured a kill or you've been in a prolonged fight. Don't get tunnel visioned on only shooting your weapon. If you're dying with dash up quite a bit, then you're doing something wrong. Don't fret. Start paying attention to mistakes like this and you'll quickly become better at not greeting her dash. Remember, if you get more kills, you'll have your dash back up anyway. Big brains. Besides using Jett Dash as your own personal life insurance, a big tell that you're a great Jett is the ability to create one-way smokes on the fly. No matter the map, the area, or the situation, being comfortable and knowledgeable of how to do this can make 50-50 fights heavily in your favor. Not to mention, with 3 smokes that last around 5 seconds, you'd be crazy not to try and use smokes as much as you can. Even though they've been nerfed down a few seconds, they are still insanely strong and 3 of these smokes are no joke. I suggest you guys go into a custom game and just run around practicing how to one-way smoke around the map. The best way to approach this is by thinking about all the high traffic areas where you commonly get into gunfights. No other agents are capable of making one-way smokes on the fly. For example, Omen, Brimstone, and Viper all have much more delay before their smokes can be placed or activated. You typically set them up in a safe position or before the round starts. Jett doesn't abide by those same rules, as she can quickly push out multiple smokes in seconds with little delay. So make sure you learn how to be comfortable with one-ways and start practicing them for those clutch scenarios. If you're a clutch player and consistent, you will undoubtedly climb. Maybe Jett can be that agent for you. If you're not entirely sure about which of these agents can potentially fit you, come chat up any of our Valorant coaches. They will do their best to help you, and the right coach will allow you to progress your learning at a much faster rate. Took me a while to find my agent that suited me. Let us help you speed up that process if that sounds interesting to you. I can't express enough how great Sova is and the seemingly endless amount of potential this agent brings to the table. Sova Daddy is lit. Many players know how great Sova can be, especially at finding information for you and your team. However, players like Sinatra have brought out the most aggressive potential of this agent. His ability to utilize his abilities at a safe range with lineups are clear as day. However, the Sovas that are a real threat can also kill you with ease. The best Sovas are able to create real damage potential similar to Rey's, but can also provide tons of information assistance with his recon and drone. In a nutshell, Sova is capable of dishing out damage like Rey's, but has access to much more options to scout out information. The key thing to understand is that Sova isn't just an information robot. He is very much capable of creating his own threat if mastered. I want to cover 2 topics that many people ignore on Sova. Starting off with his shock darts. Sova can actually utilize his shock darts in combat if you jiggle with it correctly. Many players make the mistake of charging up his shock dart peeking from a longer angle. This allows the enemy to tag you, slow you, and you can't re-hide behind cover. However, if you master throwing quick shot darts with your jiggles, you can dish out damage before they can successfully get good shots on you. This is exceptionally useful in 1v1 situations where you and your opponent are both close and behind the same cover. To illustrate this, let's take a look at Haven's C site. I'd imagine that many of you guys have played footsies around the default box on this site. If you hug close to the default box, you can quickly jiggle out slightly, tap your shock dart out, and get some real damage out. Especially in a 1v1, a good shock dart will pretty much give you a free win. Instead of having to land that headshot, you can confidently finish them off with 2 to 3 bullets. Lastly, to finish off this list, I want to cover how to get value out of using his ultimate dry. This means not always relying on a tag from his drone, which a lot of inexperienced Sovas do. The best way to understand this is by using it down narrow choke points. For example, on bind defense, using Sova's ultimate from A spawn or B elbow are great for securing kills without having to get tags with his drone. Because you have access to these choke points, you don't need to move his ultimate much. This makes it hard to dodge as the enemy is in a congested space. These are just a few spots on bind, but I assure you there are more, and it doesn't stop here. Each map has access to some great dry ultimates, so don't be afraid to open up your map and just theorycraft. Remember to pay attention to areas that are narrow in width or even line up with multiple choke points. See, I told you I'd save your rank grind because I'm a real friend. Remember everyone, these are the agents that are heavily contested and for good reason. Each of them have incredible potential to impact a game, so learn them now before too many people see this. If you enjoyed the video, please like and sub to the channel with the bell turned on so you can see our uploads before anyone else. And remember, you can get to Radiant. I believe in you.